Hey everybody, this is Perch. Let's get into this. It says, "Dear Perch Perchington III, apologies for 2 mails in 2 days. Hey, don't worry about it. It'll take me a year to answer both of them, so nobody notices. It's fine. But your video on Dinah's camp and creator overhype gave me a few thoughts. First, a caveat. I have had a good Twitter interaction with camp, which was nice. I think a lot of people have. I do think I think a lot of people are just looking for the next creator to have a fight with. And so a creator gets like mildly salty and it's like, see, it's another look, they're attacking the fans. And then you get I really am serious. Why is it? Why do some of you listening right now get turned on or excited by video thumbnails in YouTube that says something like, this creator is attacking me? You sound, first of all, the person making that sounds like an absolute pussy, but unless you're clicking on that because you think it's you're just interested to watch a lolcow train wreck, then cool. But otherwise, like who is influenced and motivated like this? And by the way, if you're writing a thumbnail that says they're attacking me, you deserve to be attacked. You absolutely deserve it. Fuck you. You deserve it. Anyway. But I'm seeing some of that stuff like who was the recent one? Oh, Philip Kennedy Johnson's attacking me. It's like, good God. I mean, Johnson's a guy who's like, this is one of the nicest guys in the world. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry. And everybody has a bad interaction on Twitter, but some of these soft bastards out there need to learn what being attacked really looks like. I don't know. I mean, and fuck, they should know because they turn around and smear people on their live streams all the time. But yeah, well, whatever. So I'm glad you had a good interaction with Dennis Camp. Sorry for that brief rant. Second, I read the Ultimates Free Comic Bay issue where the Ultimates are terrorists, and I have basically promised never to buy his comics. Okay, fair enough. This storyline that the people who control the governments are basically doing a marketing PR spin against the Ultimates. Yeah, the idea here is that sometimes people that are doing righteous good things are branded as terrorists. They're not terrorists, but they're fighting the good fight. Anyway, I get the story he's trying to do there. It's fine. I do think it's clunky, and I think like a lot of things, unfortunately, in mainstream comics, like nuance is gone and we just have to like shoehorn in every message. A lot of you were not alive back when Marvel was doing Star Comics, but that's the intelligence level I feel like a lot of stuff is written at. And I don't like, as an audience member, as a buyer, I don't like feeling like I'm being treated like an idiot. So I like being written to, and well, I think we've gone through an era where you had like Grant Morrison, Alan Moore, people like that writing stuff that was like, this is big brain stuff. You won't even understand it all because it's so out there. To, we need to make sure you understand it really, really well. So here's a comic about how Captain America is a patriot, but sometimes America does bad things and Captain America's sad. It's like, God damn, we've gone from one extreme to the other. All right. Third, I'm having a real hard time getting through his mail. Third, I've seen pros overhyped camp. Greg Rucka praised him in his newsletter as always having something to say. And apparently that something is fuck America and yay terrorism, apparently. So I'd also noticed this happening. Yeah, I've had so many people call me or text or things like, did you see this Diz Camp? Like he's wearing his like, Palestine is right kind of t-shirt. And to me, I mean, there's people who are really offended by this. And so while camp is getting hyped, it is going to be a very rapid snap fall because there's a very large growing number of creators. I'm not talking fans, but creators who absolutely despise this guy. So we'll see where it all lands up. I don't know. To me, when I see this stuff, when I see him posting photos with like, I love Palestine on his shirt, it's like, it might as well say, I like attention. Here's that attention that I ordered. That's how it comes across to me. It always comes across like, how do I get people to notice me? I know, I'll wear the, it'd be like, I don't know if you had this, but in high school, there'd be one or two people, they'd come to high school in a shirt that just had a woman with her tits out on the shirt. And that person, that kid, is going to be sent home, have turned the shirt inside out, whatever else. Everybody knows it. But for a brief period before the kid gets caught, they're getting a lot of attention for doing something stupid. And that's what, when I see camp in his shirts, and in the past, it's like, it would be like when Mags is like, did you know Kurt Cobain was trans? Well, obviously he is not, but here's that attention you ordered. Here you go. Anyway, that's how it always comes across to me. If I have issues with camp, it's that I think a lot of the writing is not very good. That's it. I don't care. He can wear whatever shirt he wants. I don't have to give him the attention over the shirt. But there you go. I guess I just did. Ah, well, whatever. All right. Back to the mail. We'll get through this. It says, all this leads to my thought. Apologies for waxing long. Haha, you thought you did. I think this hype has to do with building a network. Either trying to get new talent to join your crowd, the Portland scene, New York guys, LA crew, etc., or they will fluff your work in turn, or to join the new hotness that will build his own crew like Bendis did. I doubt it's that last one. I also note that Jeremy Adams doesn't seem to get this hype, despite, or perhaps because of, him being promoted by Jeff Johns and Mark Miller. It's because of, that's a big part of it. But Adams isn't edgy and promoting terrorism, so clearly he has nothing to say. Wow, I am salty. Apologies. Yeah, I mean, for sure. It is an interesting contrast. Thank you very much for the mail. To look at Jeremy Adams versus Dennis Camp. On one hand, I think Jeremy Adams has a career at this point of just putting stuff out and good stuff. Like he puts out comics, they're on time, they treat the character more or less well, they're received fine, and it's good, solid work. If you're a retailer, you like Jeremy Adams because the comics are consistent. And I understand for a lot of artists, consistent is kind of it's not the most exciting word. You want to be edgy. You want to be that edgelord. You want to get that attention. You want to get that hype. And that's what you're going for. And so, if you say, well, this comic is consistent, it's like, oh, stab me in the heart. Why don't you? And it's, that's how, that's just how a lot of artists think. And so they will do things, they will do the gimmicks, they will do the hype, they will post on Twitter that Kurt Cobain is trans. They're trying to get that attention. They want to be edgy. Do they believe in what they say? Rarely. I mean, look, if you're very determined to be, pro-Palestine, they could use some soldiers over there. They're looking for recruits. You can head on over there, you can pick up a gun, and you can go straight to the source. They'll take you, maybe. But like so many things, it is one thing, and really we've seen the laziness and the sloppiness of protesting. Once upon a time, people were willing to go to jail, take a beating, maybe get killed. If you look at the civil rights movement, there were a lot of very brave people who, were threatening the death of their, of themselves, their families, there is like risk that you're going to get, killed, or, risk that you're going to lose your job or, leave the relative quiet safety that you had built up and actually be in some danger. There was risk. Then, you've seen it go from that, people who are actually willing to take those chances, to people who are like, the way I'm helping the cause is by getting the word out, by posting a meme I saw, Black Lives Matter, on Twitter. I've done my part. I am equivalent to people who chain themselves to buildings and we're at risk of getting beaten by police officers. It's not the same. By the way, when I make this point, I get people really pissed off, and they always immediately misrepresent what I said. It's like, oh, so you're saying that, that there's no value in speaking your mind. You want to kill free speech? No, not at all. You can have your free speech. You should have your free speech. But you should also recognize that, like, getting out and standing up for what you believe in is way different than posting something on Instagram. Those aren't the same. Those are not the same level of impact, not the same level of bravery, not the same level of risk. They are not. If all you can do is post to Instagram, and that's fine. That's your That's your call. But those aren't the same. And pretending they're the same is offensive to the people who, put their lives at risk. I know we're a little bit astray, but I think that when it comes to hype, you have somebody like a Jeremy Adams who's probably deeply regretting that I'm mentioning this to him in this video at this point. But you have somebody who just puts out work and is consistent, and then you have other people who hype and self promote and they want attention. And unfortunately, I think the comic creator pool will jump onto hype and promotion for edgy people because they also want to be noticed. A lot of the people who are posting I think this guy is great, are doing so to hype themselves. And I can say this with authority because I've seen people who are like, I think this comic by Dennis Camp is amazing. And then it blows up to some extent. It gets a couple hundred likes. And then if you look right under it, that same person who hyped Dennis Camp's like, if you like my stuff, you could buy it here. That's the reveal. That's how you know it's fake and unorganic, and it's really just about attention. And I would absolutely love for comics to migrate more to, I'd say this way, to value. I want to see comics hyping, things that are valuable and good inside of them versus trying to grab attention. I think we've seen plenty of the grab attention model. The grab attention model is where the quality of the content really is somewhat irrelevant, and we're focused on, uh, short-term buzz. Mary Jane is Venom. Perfect example of short-term attention. Very little long. Like, where do you go with that? Where's the value come from that? Is there any value that comes from that? No, there's not. So anyway, that to me is hype. Yeah, and so certainly there's a build a network, build a little following, get a crew together. I mean, sure. There's definitely all of that. Anyway, that's my thought on it. I hope it helps, or at least wasn't a complete waste of time. But my apologies for Jeremy Adams for inserting him into this mix. I do my best, pal. Thanks for listening.